An ancient Greek philosopher once told a story that was both mythical and real. 11,000 years ago, when our civilization had yet to take shape, another civilization had already emerged. This is a civilization possessing superior technology, possibly even reaching levels such as space travel or advanced submarines. To this day, this story remains a controversial topic among scientists and archaeologists. The existence of the vanished civilization is still an unsolved mystery. That very thing has driven many people to seek the answer. That kingdom was Atlantis, an island located in the Atlantic Ocean, beyond the Pillars of Heracles, now known as the Strait of Gibraltar, which connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. This island is larger than Libya and Turkey combined. According to Greek mythology, Atlantis was protected by the sea god Poseidon. This land possessed a temperate climate and an exceptionally favorable geographical location. Atlantis possessed an extraordinary civilization, achieving astonishing advancements in both technology and military prowess. Their military is immensely powerful, most notably in naval combat capabilities. Over the years, they conquered and dominated a vast territory, stretching from Africa to Europe. However, as Atlantis grew increasingly powerful, its people became arrogant, greedy, and morally corrupt. In Greek mythology, when humans become excessively arrogant, they cross the boundaries set by the gods for mankind. At this very moment, the punishment was delivered, and the sea god Poseidon was furious. In 9600 BC, a great flood suddenly struck, submerging the entire archipelago into the deep sea in just one night. Since then, the kingdom vanished without a trace. Could it still be slumbering beneath the vast ocean's depths? Could Atlantis actually just be a product of imagination? The tales of the legendary kingdom of Atlantis originate from the works of Plato, a renowned Greek philosopher. Specifically, Plato mentioned Atlantis in two of his works in 360 BC. He crafted the dialogue between Timaeus and Critias centered around the Great Brief Ray, with Atlantis as the central theme of discussion. However, Plato did not consider Atlantis to be a fictional nation. He firmly asserted that this land once existed and was completely destroyed in just one night. When it comes to Plato, there is no doubt about the great contributions he made to humanity. But can Plato's accounts of Atlantis be trusted? Scientists say that human understanding of the ocean currently accounts for only about 5%. We remain largely in the dark about the mysterious world beneath the vast ocean, as well as the traces that time has buried. Is there a scenario like in the movie Aquaman, where a group of Atlanteans survived the Great Flood and evolved to fully adapt to the underwater environment? Beneath the ocean depths lies a powerful kingdom, one that may even be preparing to strike back against the surface world as humans continue to ravage the marine environment. In reality, the story of the city of Atlantis had existed quietly and uneventfully until Ternally. An amateur historian and congressman declared this in his 1882 book Atlantis, The Antediluvian World. Ternally believes that all human civilizations and their scientific and technological achievements originated from the island nation of Mukten, something Bratton once mentioned. These authors do not merely reiterate what Bratton mentioned thousands of years ago. He added some personal perspectives and viewpoints on Atlantis. Donnelly predicted that in the not-too-distant future, humanity would truly discover the legendary city of Atlantis. The artifacts of this civilization will eventually be displayed in museums around the world. Upon completing the work, Donnelly sent a copy to Darkwing, who is regarded as the father of evolutionary theory. Darkwing found it quite intriguing, but he believed there still wasn't enough convincing evidence to prove the actual existence of Atlantis. However, only a handful of people from there believed in the existence of Atlantis. Later, some writers adopted Donnelly's theory and further developed their own ideas in their works. So many hypotheses about the location of Atlantis have been proposed that many can't help but exclaim. Just pick any point on the map, and people will say that's Atlantis. It is present everywhere, anywhere we can think of. Although numerous traces of a sunken city have been discovered, the evidence remains insufficient to be convincing. In 1940, the famous prophet Edgar Cayce sparked heated debates. He suddenly woke up while sleeping and claimed to have grasped the first clues about Atlantis. Cayce believed that traces of this civilization could still be found on Bimini Island, near the state of Florida, USA. In 1969, Atlantis would officially rise again. In the prophecies about Atlantis, He predicted that the inhabitants of this kingdom had reincarnated and become modern Americans and Europeans. And he, too, was an Atlantean. Edgar Cayce vividly recalled and described the image of his kingdom. Even though Cayce had never read Plato. Although Cayce predicted the event would occur in 1969, as early as 1968, an unexpected discovery had already emerged. In September of that year, while swimming in the waters near Bimini Island, Dr. Manson Valentine accidentally discovered a pathway paved with 50 large rectangular and polygonal stone blocks, lying about 30 meters beneath the water's surface. The massive boulders, some as long as 30 meters, were perfectly positioned at this time. People immediately recalled Edgar Cayce's prophecies and believed that Bimini was one of the remaining ruins of the legendary city of Atlantis. At that time, the scientific community was embroiled in a heated debate. Opponents of this hypothesis insisted that the stone pathway was formed entirely by natural processes. Dr. Eugene Singh, a member of the Geological Society of America, and his colleagues personally dived into this sea area to survey rocks believed to be evidence of the Atlantis civilization. After drilling 15 centimeters deep, geologists collected rock samples and conducted an analysis. The results confirmed that these rocks were entirely natural in origin, showing no signs of human interference. However, the mystery of the Bimini Road still holds many unanswered questions, leading many to believe it may be connected to the legendary city of Atlantis. Plato once mentioned that the Atlanteans possessed divine instruments. These instruments had the power to heal all ailments, both physical and mental, for humans. And the famous writer Hemingway once affirmed that in the waters near Bimini, there truly existed such a giant swordfish. He affirmed that the surrounding trees were all thriving. Hemingway immersed himself in the cool, refreshing stream and affirmed that this spring had truly healed countless people. Scientists analyzed the composition of the holy water and discovered that this water source contains a remarkably interesting concentration. Research shows that lychee is highly effective in producing a soothing reaction, not only in healthy individuals but also in those with functional disorders. But that still isn't enough to prove what Bratton wrote is true. Scientists also conclude that this cave only formed and developed in the past few hundred years, with no evidence confirming its existence for over 10,000 years. But perhaps the prophecy about Atlantis was not accurate. According to Edgar Cayce's prediction in 1969, humanity would discover this legendary kingdom along with its vast treasure. But things didn't turn out that way. Of course, no one could prove whether he was truly a reincarnated citizen of Atlantis or not. But the Bimini Road is not the only site believed to be a remnant of Atlantis. Interestingly, there is a theory suggesting that Atlantis might actually lie within today's Sahara Desert. It may sound a bit like a conspiracy theory, but quite a few people strongly believe in this hypothesis. This YouTube channel gained fame from a video posted in 2018. In that video, Right Inside, a well-known channel, presented evidence suggesting that the city of Atlantis once existed in this 9.2 million square kilometer desert. According to Plato's description, the city of Atlantis was built from concentric rings alternating between land and sea, with a system of long bridges extending from the center to the periphery, heavily guarded by countless gates and soldiers. Eye of the Sahara. When viewed from above, the human eye resembles a concentric ellipse. This structure is remarkably similar to Plato's description. He said that Atlantis had mountain ranges in the north, regarded as embodiments of the gods. Interestingly, the northern part of the Sahara Desert also has similar mountains. S account, Atlantis was a land with a diverse animal population, including elephants. Interestingly, in the Richat, at the Eye of the Sahara, researchers have also discovered numerous artifacts dating back up to 17 million years. Notably, these relics bear striking similarities to tools used by the inhabitants of Atlantis, the legendary land described by Plato in his works. According to scientific research, the arid Sahara Desert today was once a vast sea. This area once held a massive lake spanning 3,000 square kilometers with a depth of 50 meters, before transforming into the barren land of sand and rock we see now. Who knows, before these shores became endless stretches of sand, there might have existed a nation with a truly advanced civilization. In 2017, the documentary Atlantis Rising *, produced by National Geographic, officially premiered for audiences. The film follows the journey of two renowned directors, James Cameron and Simha Chokabovisi, as they explore the city of Atlantis, accompanied by archaeologists and historians. Pillars of Hercules. This is the place where the records from Bratislava confirm the existence of Atlantis. The expedition combined Bratislava's documents with modern technology to survey the ocean floor. The expedition made an incredibly fascinating discovery: 6 ancient anchors. According to experts, these anchors date back to the Bronze Age. It is highly possible that these are remnants of the legendary city of Atlantis after it sank to the ocean floor. The discovery by the Atlantis Rising expedition could be groundbreaking. However, more time is needed to confirm whether it is truly the remains of the legendary city of Atlantis. Even James Cameron remains cautious and has not yet made definitive claims about what the team has found. To this day, discoveries about Atlantis still cannot confirm whether the city truly existed or not. However, regardless, these studies have enriched humanity's treasure trove of knowledge, offering new understanding and fueling human curiosity and the drive to explore.